Hi, welcome to Taurus Tarot. I'm Joy, and we'll get right to it. So, today was an interesting day because I had to go down to T-Mobile again, and not T-Mobile, but AT&T, to get finished switching over the phones, and I started feeling all this anxiety about it, like, oh, it's going to be awful, it's going to take so long, and why does it have to be that way, and then I caught myself, and then I just said, you know what? I'm going to set an intention that it's going to go smoothly, that it's going to be fine. And so that's what I did on my way over there. I just set the intention that, everything was going to go just as it should. It was going to go smooth. It was going to be fine. It wasn't going to be painful at all. And that's exactly what it was, So, man, setting intentions are really important because they just kind of like set the groundwork, sort of, they pave the way, right? If you are entering into a situation already from a mindset of it's going to be awful, it's going to be terrible, then it's more than likely that that's what you're going to experience. Whereas if you set a different mindset that it is going to be something good, and or that it's going to happen exactly the way it needs to, then that really is the mindset you're going in there with. Yeah. So intentions are important. Intentions are really important. Okay, so we had a lot of cards drop out. Let's see what we got here. We have the Knight of Cups. So the Knight of Cups is really this energy of cups are emotion, right? First of all, and so the Knight of Cups is someone who is kind of like moving gallantly, like kind of not too fast, not too slow, but there's movement towards some kind of emotion, like love or something like that, right? So he's moving towards, he's towards that. He's taking the first steps towards those, he planted the seeds and now he's taking the first steps towards making it happen, yeah? To bring some kind of love in, or some kind of positive emotion. The Nine of Pentacles, I love this card. This is kind of like the Taurus card, I think. This woman is just very independent. She's done her work, she's good in her own skin. She's just like, she values herself. She loves herself. She values herself. She's worked hard to, gather all of her pentacles. And now she's just, living her good life, living her best life, she's content. She's content with where she's at and what she's done. And I'm feeling single. I'm feeling single from this card for sure. Single, but not a feeling of like loneliness, not a feeling of loneliness. I'm single but content, sort of. Then we have the Five of Cups, and the Five of Cups is kind of about a feeling of loss. Yeah, so this man is kind of hunched over, looking down, pouting, sort of, right? And he's looking at the three cups that have their goodies spilled out of them because they're turned over. But also what he doesn't realize is that there are two full cups right behind him. He still has two full cups right behind him. So a lot of times this card really speaks to me about perspective, and seeing the things that may not be so great in your life right now, instead of choosing to focus on the things that you do have. Yeah. And next to the Five of Cups, we have the Tower card. And the Tower is kind of a scary looking card, there's lots of lightning and fire and clouds and rain and people falling from buildings. And yeah, you look at this card, it feels, it looks a little scary, but I think oftentimes these big moments, when we're in the moment, they may not feel the greatest. Yeah, they may be a little bit painful, they may be a little bit heartbreaking, they may be a little bit scary, those kinds of things, but in the end, it's like necessary. Yeah, it's like rebirth. Like I just had this image of forest fires, you know, right? Like sometimes the fire, it needs to burn through the forest to clean out like all the old brush, and so that the new life can come up. And so that's kind of what I'm feeling from this card right now. Yeah, don't be afraid. And then we had the Page of Pentacles. Pages are like seeds. I always see them as like seeds. They're like, they're about to, they're kind of got like these ideas kind of like circulating in their mind, and they are, they're thinking about things, and they're planning, the planning stages. They're trying to figure things out. But they haven't like taken the first step yet. They haven't made their first move yet. And so this guy, I'm just kind of feeling like he's just kind of like, in this space of like, how do I bring, this into my reality, or how do I bring that into my reality, or how do I bring more financial security into my reality, more financial stability into my reality? Yeah, that's what I'm feeling from this guy right now. And then there's the Justice card, and I love the Justice card because it's pretty self-explanatory. Justice. It's like, you've done what you were supposed to do, and now you're being rewarded for it. That's justice, right? You could kind of see it as, well, I was going to say karma, but no, I don't like to think of karma like that. I don't think that karma is really a system of punishment and reward. And yeah, so not necessarily that, but definitely like feeling of maybe things were a little bit difficult for a little while, but you maintained your positive attitude. You even though things were challenging, you continue to do your best, and especially because things were difficult, and through that you still continue to give it your all. Something is coming in for you after that. It's like that is going to be recognized, right? And it's going to feel like justice. And then there's Judgment. And so, the Judgment for me is like this spiritual awakening card too. I love this card. It's like, it feels like rebirth. It's like these people here, they were in their coffins, and the angel blew her horn, woke them up, and they were all woken up again and ready to engage in life again, but in a new way, with a new perspective. Just like a rebirth, right? Or an awakening. And I'm feeling from this a reawakening. So together, yeah, I mean, it really does feel like this is where you are. Or were, maybe. This is where you were. It's kind of this place of like, everything feels really good, nice energy. Yeah, there's like more love being brought in, being in a place of contentness and security, and feeling good about oneself, and feeling like there's love in your life, but maybe not the greatest of love. Like maybe it could be a little bit better, but pretty darn good. That's what this feels like together. Okay. Then we have it next to these two cards. Yeah, loss and the Tower, right? So these two energies, very different from these two energies. Yeah, so there's a real transition happening here. There's a real transition happening here. And sometimes what I'm really feeling is that sometimes we need a little bit of shaking up. Yeah, sometimes we can get a little bit too comfortable. Yeah, we get a little bit too comfortable. And what came to mind for me just now was like, you know, in this process of spiritual awakening and in my own personal journey, I have been in this place of feeling stuck a little bit, like not feeling this movement forward. And I almost feel like, you know, this is something that is like a blessing in disguise that is coming. Maybe it's not here yet. And it doesn't have to be a big major thing, right? Like, you know how we get kind of scared of the tower. But it could be some change in perspective, or actually no, not necessarily. What I'm really getting about this is that there could be some kind of thing, you know, coming your way that does or could feel like loss, but doesn't necessarily have to. Yeah, and it's almost like you can experience it, you know, this kind of loss of something, right? Because there was some loss of something, right? Some cups did fall over and spill out, right? But you can choose to focus on those things, or you can choose to focus on the things that you still do have, right? And that is going to determine what this tower moment is going to look like. Is this tower moment going to be this big, horrible, scary thing for you because you are focusing on the loss? Or is this tower moment going to be more mild for you because you understand that even though there is some loss, you know, you are still blessed. You're still blessed. Yeah. So what this tower moment is going to look like really depends on you. Yeah. But what it's going to bring about for you is definitely this energy of, let me put it in a different order. There we go. I think that works better. This energy of newness, about this energy of planting new seeds, yeah, and perhaps moving in a little bit of a different direction than you thought you were going to go in, and but it's something that ends up being better for you, because what it brings about for you is justice, is this idea of, or this feeling of, like, you made it through this, yeah, you made it through this in a very in a way that showed you how to focus on your blessings rather than focusing on your losses. You made it through that, and now you're going to be rewarded for it. You know, you're going to be rewarded for it. And what is that reward going to be? Man, this rebirth, this reawakening, this energy of, like, everything anew again, you know, like just like the forest burning and new life, you know, coming in, right? That's what it's going to be for you. That's what the end result is going to be for you. It's this rebirth, this new life. And who doesn't love that, right? And if you think about this journey and you know, this spiritual awakening journey, right? I think what happens is that we all we have this burst of awareness, and it's wonderful, because it's like this whole new world opens up for you, right? But then you get acclimated a little bit, and then it doesn't seem so new and interesting and wonderful, because you've been in it for a while, right? And so you know, you still see great things, of course, right? Because you've learned how to maintain that positive attitude, that positive outlook on life. But at the same time, something fresh and exciting and new would be nice too, right? And that is kind of the experience of life, right? We love those things. We love those opportunities to have new experiences, to, go down a different path, to walk in a different direction than what we're used to. Who wants to live a life that is exactly the same from birth till death? I don't, right? And that's what this feels like, an opportunity to move in a completely different direction that makes it feel like a brand new life, right? Like almost like a start over, a do-over almost, but except you get to keep all the wonderful things that you've learned along the way, right? And start from a higher level again, right? Like that sounds awesome. So, man, sounds great. I can't wait. I can't wait. So definitely, yeah, we were here. This place of feeling really content, feeling really good. You got good stuff going on in your life, but something's coming to shake it up a little bit, and how shook up you get really depends on you and the things you've learned over this journey, your perspective. How are you going to choose to look at it? Yeah, are you going to choose to look at it from a perspective of lack and loss, or are you going to choose to look at it from a perspective of abundance and gratitude? Yeah. And then it's going to bring in amazing ideas to be planted, to be sown, right? That are going to bring justice for you and this rebirth, almost like this whole new life coming in. Feels awesome. Alrighty. Good. Embrace it. Embrace the change. Embrace the change. It's wonderful. It can be. Anything that comes your way can be wonderful. Depends on how you look at it, right? How do you want to look at it? That's the question. Okay? So anyway, I hope you have a beautiful day. Aloha and Namaste.